Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is our mathematics class for grade 4, and I, your mathematics teacher, Miss Amara, is here with you. I hope you all are fine and safe. Yes, my dear students, today we are going to learn about common denominators and how we can compare the fractions when we have the common or the same denominators, and how we can order the fractions when we have the common denominators. So, are you ready to learn? Yes. So, before started, let us go through the objectives of our today's lesson. The objectives are, after this lesson, we shall be able to explain the concept of comparing fractions, to compare and order fractions with same denominator. Let us recall our memory. What is the fraction? Yes, excellent. The fraction represents a part of a whole. And in a fraction, the top number is always called the numerator because in the top number, we always write the selected parts. And the bottom number is always called as the denominator because in the denominator, we always write the total parts of the given fractions. What is the numerator? Yes, the numerator is the top number of the fraction. What is the denominator? Yes, this is the bottom part of the denominator that shows the total parts. It is the number of parts the whole is divided into. So, we have studied in our previous lesson about the like fractions. So, whenever we have the same denominators, it means that fractions are called like fractions. And our today's lesson is also based on the like fractions. You can see the different examples of like fractions. Yes, here all three fractions are having the same denominators. That's why we call them as like fractions. And what are the unlike fractions? The fractions which have unequal or the different denominators. They are called unlike fractions. You can see in all three fractions we have different denominators. Now we have to learn that how we can compare the like fractions, or how we can compare the fractions with the same denominators. When two fractions are having the same denominator, they are very easy to compare. Since the denominators are same, so it means we need to compare only numerators, and the fraction is greater if the numerator is greater. Like here you have different fractions. So the first fraction is 4 upon 9 and the second fraction is 5 upon 9. You can see the denominators are same. So we have to just look at the numerators. So whose numerator is bigger? The second one, yes. So it means that 4 upon 9 is less than 5 upon 9. And how we can compare unlike fractions? As we know that unlike fractions are not having the same denominators. So first convert the fractions into like fractions and then we can compare them. And each fraction is converted to its equivalent fraction with the same denominator. And we have to compare the numerators of the equivalent fraction whose denominators are same. As you can see this example, this is less than that. So let's start learning the comparing and ordering of the fractions that are having the common or the same denominators. So here we are going to learn that how we can compare two fractions. That how we can compare two fractions, that which is bigger and which is smaller. And we are going to learn about the fractions that are like or unlike fractions. As you know, that the like fractions are very simple because we have to compare on the numerators. So when we have the different denominators, how we can make the same denominator? You can see in these fractions, both the numerators and denominators are different. As we know that when we have the fraction whose numerator is like this and the other fraction will be like this, how we can compare them? If the numerators are same, then we have to look at the denominator, and as much as the denominator is bigger, the fraction will be smaller. Okay? Yes, when we have the same numerators and different denominators, then we have to see at the denominators, as much as the denominator is bigger, the fraction will be smaller. And in other case, when we have the fractions like 1 upon 9 and 7 upon 9. Now here you have the same denominators, but you have the same different numerator. So here we have to compare only the numerators, and we know that 7 is the bigger number, so this fraction will be bigger. It means 1 by 9 is less than 7 by 9. So now we have to learn how we can compare the fractions when we have the different denominators, different numerators. So we have different methods. Either we can make their numerator same or we can make their denominator same. So first of all, we have to learn that how we can make the common numerator, means how we can make the same numerator of different fractions. For example, we have a fraction 5 by 6 and we have to compare it with 2 by 3. Now here you can see numerators are also different and denominators are also different. So first we can make the numerator same. You can see this is 5, this is 2. How we can make them same? We can see that if I will take one number and I will multiply by the other number, can we get the same number? So, if I multiply 5 by 3 and 2 by 3, we will get the different number because one is the even number and one is the odd number. So, we can multiply with the numbers that the other fraction is having in the numerator. So other fractions numerator is 5, so we have to multiply this fraction by 5, and here at this side you can multiply by 2. This is called cross multiplication. So we can multiply it as 5 multiply by 2, and in the denominator 6 multiply by 2. So now you can see 5 multiplied by 2 is equals to 10, and 6 multiplied by 2 is 12, and on the other side 2 multiplied by 5 is 10, and 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. Now you can see that the numerators for both the fractions are same. So now we can compare them easily. And we know that when the numerators are same, we have to look at the denominator. So we can see from 12 and 15, 15 is the bigger. So this fraction will be smaller because as much as the denominator is bigger, the fraction will be smaller. So here 10 by 12 is greater than 10 by 15, and you can see that 10 by 12 is the equivalent fraction of 5 upon 6. So it means this fraction is bigger. In this way, you can make the equivalent fractions and you can compare them. Let's take one more example. Now you can make the numerator same. So here is numerator 1 and here is numerator 4. So if we multiply 1 by 4, the numerator will be same. So only we can take the first fraction and we can multiply the numerator and denominator both by 4. 1 multiplied by 4 and 6 multiplies by 4. Now here no need to multiply the other fraction because when we multiply the first fraction by 4, we get the same numerator. 1 multiplied by 4 is equals to 4. Yes, and 6 multiplied by 4 is equals to 24. Yes. And the other fraction will be 4 upon 9. As the numerators are same, so we have to compare only denominators. And can you tell me that which fraction will be bigger? Yes, 24 is bigger. So it means this is denominator, so this fraction will be smaller. So it means as a whole, 4 by 9 is the bigger fraction. So we can see that 4 by 24 is the equivalent fraction of 1 by 6. So it means this fraction is smaller than 4 by 9. Let's take how we can make the same denominators. Now here we have to make the same denominators. Let's take one example. We have two fractions. Now you can see that for the first fraction the denominator is 40 and for the other fraction the denominator is 4. Here numerators are also different. We are making the same denominator. We are making the common denominator. Now you can think the smaller number is 4. So can we multiply any number by 4 to get 40? Yes, when we multiply 4 by 10, we can get 40. So we can make its equivalent fraction. As you know that whatever we are multiplying in the denominator, we have to do the same thing for the numerator also. So 4 by 10 and 1 multiplied by 10. And when we multiply 1 by 10, it will be equals to 10. This fraction will be same. 10 by 40. So we can write as it is 10 upon 40. And when we multiply this fraction, it will be equals to 1 multiplied by 10 is 10. And 4 multiplied by 10 is 40. So now you can see the denominators are same and numerators are also same. An interesting fraction it is, yes. So in any fraction, if the numerators and denominators both are equal, so it means both the fractions are equal. So it means 10 by 40 is equals to 1 by 4. In this way, you can make the same denominator, you can make the equivalent fraction for that, and then you can compare. I hope you understood, my dear students, and now you will practice a lot. All things are difficult before they are easy. So, if it seems difficult for you, no problem. When you'll practice it, you will find it very easy. Thank you, all of you, my dear students. Take care. Allah Hafiz.